is back to receive the kick.
Hello, YouTube. What is up? NYK31 here. So much to say. Hope I can get it all in.
Bush fields it.
Here's a question for you guys. I was playing a game of APF the other night with one of my online friends, and
now the offense will take
he
possession for the
posed
first
this
time
question.
with excellent field position.
If you were starting an NFL team,
for them if they could find a way to
who
come
would,
away with some points on
excluding
this drive, a
quarterbacks,
touchdown here
now,
would really
no
set the tone early
quarterbacks,
for this offense.
who would your first pick be for your team? Excluding quarterbacks, meaning no Tom Brady, no Aaron Rodgers, no Peyton Manning, no Drew Brees.
Toss.
You had to use your first pick on any other position.
The stop was made
And,
by Cromartie. A gain of 6.
I
Second
thought
down.
about it for a minute. At first I was kind of stumped. That's a pretty tough question, I thought. But then I started thinking, my first pick
So second down
would probably
the
have
offense
to be
needs about
Revis.
4 for the first.
Now, at the risk of alienating Raider Nation, well, one, I'm a
and
Jets
here's the
fan,
flag, and we're going
and
to have
two,
our first penalty.
I don't see Namdi play, more than a couple of times a year.
The offense is moving in the
For the
wrong
Raiders are on
direction after
TV,
that.
or if I
For
happen to
this
stumble
offense,
across a game of theirs that's happened to be on, Direct
They're
TV
going deep.
or what have you. But anyway,
Misses the
I see
receiver,
Revis every
and
week,
it's incomplete.
and I know what he can do, and
Drew Brees.
I
is
know
one of the
enough
most
about
accurate
Namdi to know
passers
that,
in the NFL, so when
between
he
the difference
swings
between the
one
two is
out of
splitting
reach
hairs.
like that, you go, what the
Revis is
heck
my
just
guy,
happened?
so if it's close, I'm going to go with my guy. So there you go. But anyway, I said Revis, and he said DeMarcus Ware, which surprised me at first.
He throws
But,
downfield.
Then I started thinking about it, and
He's got room.
I thought about it from a football
He's knocked
perspective.
out
It
of
made
bounds
sense
at
because
the
when you look at the
16-yard
NFL,
line.
what are the hardest positions to find good players at? Quarterback, cover corner, pass rusher, and left
Flips
tackle.
out short.
I bet you if you
Touchdown,
look at
New
the
Orleans.
highest paid positions in the NFL, the highest paid players are mostly from that group. Because the way the NFL is played now, the way football
They
is
hand it
played
off
now, you
again.
have to be able to throw the
That
football.
was a tough couple
you have
of
to have a
yards
quarterback.
right there, but
You can
oftentimes
always find
those
a
little
guy who can
2-yard
rush
gains
for
that move the sticks
1,100
can
yards,
make
which is really
such a
all
big
you really
difference in the
need
game.
now. You need enough of a running game to just, to prevent defenses from just going off on your quarterback. You can always find tight ends. You can always find wide receivers. And of course, if there's a guy in the draft who's just,
Looks left.
a
Here's
stud,
short
the
pass.
second coming of Bo Jackson or Barry Sanders
Good
or
play
Jerry
design
Rice,
there,
if
very
there's a
solid
Randy
to be able
Moss
to
out
play.
there, you go ahead and take him. But generally speaking, you can find running backs, tight ends, wide receivers, middle linebackers, safeties even, just to a certain degree. A lot easier than you can
He gets
find
off the throw.
guys who can play man coverage,
Jenkins.
guys who can generate a
Just
pass
bring him
rush
down.
for you without having to
We
be
have an
blitz
interchanged
heavy,
player who needs to come off the
guys
field.
who can protect your quarterback, and guys who can throw the ball and make, sound decisions and play their position efficiently. So I just thought I'd throw that out there, see what you guys thought about that. But another thing that has been on my mind is, this is the dead period for football gamers and football fans.
Run play, left side.
Time from May
Touchdown.
after the draft is over
J-E-T-S.
until the beginning of
Jets,
training
Jets.
camp. And, with the lockout, we don't really know when training camps are going to begin. So,
Scrambles away from
building up
defender.
for the hype and the expectations
Bring a
and the
little
release
pressure and
of
it impacts
NCAA
quarterbacks,
12,
and we
which is
saw
only
it
a
there.
couple of months away, believe it or not, a month and a half away. And, Madden in late August. You have the videos out, the Sim Standard, fans of the Sim Standard, blah, 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 talking about what they want in Sim gameplay, Sim football, yada,
Surveys
yada,
the
yada.
field.
And it got me
And the tackle
thinking.
was made by Golston.
Well, that didn't get me thinking. I'll get to what got me thinking in a little bit. But got me to thinking, what is sim football? What's simulation football? What's cheese? What's quote-unquote arcade?
Breeze.
Blah, blah, blah.
Pitch out.
And the reason why I started
And
thinking
he's
about
tackled
that
around the
question
21-yard line.
is because of a
By
comment
Lester.
someone
Timeout
made
here for the
about one of
injured
my
Jets player.
videos
Looks like he'll
questioning
be okay.
what kind of sim player I was based on the fact that I was using on offense pretty much 2 formations exclusively. So I said to myself, does he have a point? And then, like I like to do, I like to think things through
Short throw
and try
to
to,
the right.
apply logic to them.
A burst of speed,
And
and he's in the open.
when you think about it, football is not a complicated game.
And he's
It
gone.
really isn't.
Next stop,
Most
Raiders.
good offensive philosophies revolve around a
And a
handful
guy makes a throw
of
like that and you go,
very
"Hey,
simple
that's a good throw."
concepts. In this case, let's use pass concepts as an example. Run from multiple looks. The thought process is it's a lot easier to teach someone what to do, no matter where they're standing, than it is to teach someone multiple things from one position from multiple formations. So, most passing concepts that are effective are really very simple. The West Coast
He
offense
passes
was
it.
like that. The West Coast offense was
He's wrestled
designed
down
around
at
slant,
the
skinny
46-yard
posts, crossing routes, and using your backs out of the backfield. And they ran those core concepts out of basically four or five formations: far, near, pro set,
Deep throw.
I, and some,
End zone.
single back. I don't remember
Comes
Joe
down with
Montana
it.
playing from the shotgun very often,
Touchdown.
except for maybe when he was older and wasn't quite as, mobile. But from my point of view, that's the way I like to play. I like to
Breeze
use,
with the
whether
toss.
running the run and shoot, the
fumbles
air
the ball.
raid,
Jenkins picks it
or
up.
running a
Is
quote-unquote
he going to
pro-style
score?
system. I like to
Well, the number
use
one rule for a halfback is you have to be able to
simple
hold on to
plays
the
that I can
football.
execute that
All the
attack multiple
statistics show
levels
you turn
of a
it over,
defense.
and you're going to lose.
Let's say, for example, there's 20 plays per formation, and I'm using primarily 2 formations. That gives me 40 plays. What's the difference between me running 40
This one was
plays
close enough
out
that
of
the
2
booth wants to
formations
take another look.
Yeah,
and someone
I don't know
else
about
running
that
40
one. It was
plays
pretty close
from
to being
10?
just what happened on that
It's
pass
still
there.
40 plays. And for the most part, the plays are pretty much similar. For example, Texas Tech.
Dumps it short.
Well, let's not use the college
He's
example. Let's
wrestled
use the
down
Colts.
at the 35.
The Colts are basically an air raid
it really
offense. They
wasn't.
run shallow cross, they run stick, they run slants, they run mesh,
Give to the
they run
tailback.
smash, they run
He's
follow
brought down
concepts.
at the 47.
That's basically a half dozen pass
The
concepts.
Traders are going to assist him off the field, so now
Then you have a team like, say,
tosses left.
there are no run and shoot teams anymore in the NFL, but let's use the 2007
Gains his way to the
Patriots.
23-yard
2007
line.
Patriots were essentially a shotgun 4 wide trips, 2x2 or 5 wide team. If you want to go back to
Hand off to the
the
right side.
90s, you had the Houston Oilers
It's gotta be
and
first and goal for the
the
Jets.
Atlanta Falcons, who were run and shoot teams, who ran either 4 wide 2x2 or 4 wide trips. Every play. That's what the run and shoot offense is. And then you had a derivative of that in Buffalo called the K gun. The Buffalo Bills pretty much ran the K gun around 80% of the game, which was 3 wide: James Lofton, Andre Reed, Don Beebe, and Metzlars. So,
Hands off to the back.
to me that
and he's
argument
in.
doesn't really hold much water, because there's nothing I can do with the formations that I'm running that someone else can't do out of more. And to be frank, if I can't beat you with 40
Has a man
plays,
to
it
his
doesn't matter
right.
whether I'm doing them
Little
out of 2
flip.
formations or 10. I still wouldn't be able to beat you. So there you go.
He's wrestled
But-
down at the 43-yard line.
I think people
Looking for a man.
get confused, or I shouldn't say confused, but
Robert
let's
Meacham was the intended
talk
receiver
about
on the play.
money plays, for example. What is a money play? A money play is a play that you can run repeatedly
He's dropped
that
down
is overly
at the
effective
18.
regardless
The one
of
thing you know is a running
personnel,
back, as long as
or
they
regardless
keep
of
moving
whether
the
or not
sticks, They're going to keep
someone has the right defense called. The play is, it's more or less going to work if you don't get sacked or if you don't do something stupid.
It's almost picked
and,
off.
You know, Madden, for better or
Third
worse,
down coming up after that incompletion.
a game that has and will always contain a certain amount of money plays. I mean, they advertise it, for crying out loud. You know, that whole Madden Tour Bus tournament they do every year. You know, that whole thing is based off of money plays.
The traders are
which is why I've always said that Madden is a sim game to a certain extent, but also a sim game with an arcade element. There are things that Madden does very well. If you take the time to see how ratings play out and how personnel plays out, you know, more often than not, they play out, you know, accurately. But, you know, EA also knows that a 14-year-old kid doesn't give a dang about simulation football. You know, they want to pick up the controller and roll out with Vic and throw bombs at Deshaun Jackson. And they also have, you know, like I said, the Madden, you know, Nation Tour Bus tournament folk as well that play their game just for that reason. So, regardless of how sim a game may claim to be, there will always be a way to cheese it every way until Sunday. You can cheese, you know, Madden all day long. You can cheese NCAA all day long. You can cheese All Pro Football, NFL 2K, NBA 2K. It's all there. Because again, these games are video games. They're not real life. And while they're simulating a sport, they're simulating it within a video game arcade environment. So you're always going to have an element of that in your game no matter what. And that's also the reason why just about every cheeser, every really good cheeser, uses the Raiders. Because if you know what those soft spots are, what better team is there to use than a team with a lot of speed and a lot of high acceleration, you know, rated players. If you take a guy who knows what he's doing with the Raiders and he knows a certain, you know, group of money plays or money route combinations that the AI can't handle, and on the flip side also knows how to nano with all that speed, you got a guy that's going to be very, very hard to beat, regardless of whether the fact is that the Raiders stink. You know, that's just the way it is, unfortunately.
That's gonna do it for the Big Easy. Stay with us
for the most part, a game is really only as sim as the person who's playing it.
One play.
Because if they want to cheese it up, they will cheese it up. It's not a thing you can do about it. And if you're playing a good cheeser, well, you know, good luck to you. I have a game that I'm going to be putting up here where I'm playing a cheeser, and he's having his way with it early.
Our final score is,
and in fact, he offers me a friendly league, which I declined because, you know, I thought that I can pretty much, you know, deal with it. There has to be a way that I can figure it out. And I did. I had to go through all kinds of mess to do it, but I was able to tighten the game up and, you know, make a respectable show of it, even though I did end up losing. But, you know, whatever. It's just a game. So I guess as more time goes by and as more I play, I guess the less aggravated I become by this kind of stuff or that kind of stuff. Because, you know, it's just a game. You know, we all have an hour or so to kill. And I figure as long as I'm having fun, as long as I'm challenged, it's all good. And, you know, I'm looking forward to what NCAA 12 and Madden 12 have in store. It does look like they've tightened up a lot of the soft spots that a lot of people complain about, so that's a positive. But on the flip side, there'll be something else. There always is. It's going to find a way to cheese, so in the end, it's ultimately up to the integrity of the gamer as to how they want to play. Do you want to play, you know, straight, or do you want to play like a, you know, 8-year-old? That's your choice. And whatever choice, you know, you choose will say a heck of a lot more about you in the long run. So take that for what it's worth. Take care, guys. Peace.